All right, let's turn our focus to politics now. The uMkhonto weSizwe party has suspended 3 members from its leadership in KwaZulu-Natal Legislature. Party leader Jacob Zuma and the MKP High Command made that decision. Thobani Zuma, Kwazi Mbanjwa and Sfiso Zuma were suspended for irregularities and violations of the party's constitution. Their cases have been referred to the National Prosecutor for a disciplinary hearing. Now, MKP spokesperson Nhlamulo Ndhlela said the party has a zero tolerance for ill discipline and unruly conduct. Now, to discuss this further, let's welcome political analyst Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast. Prof, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I mean, just your reaction, I guess, to these dismissals, especially when you consider that these are senior members of the party. Dr. Mbanjwa, for instance, also a member of the KZN Legislature, as we said, he's also been removed as chief whip and was once upon a time a trusted figure in MK leader Jacob Zuma's political career.
Thank you very much for having me. Unati, and compliments of the season. I think this is a very interesting turn of events, and I think it should be applauded, given the fact that I think one of the members that you cited earlier on when you were setting the scene, I think is related to former President Zuma. So that showcases that, you know, if you are on the side of the law and you are posing a threat to the stability of the party, you can be suspended. So I think it's a good thing, even though I think there are deeper issues that the party needs to address. You know, issues of jealousy, maybe amongst other members, given the fact that there have been members that have just joined of late and have become a center of attraction. And I think that might be rubbing other members who have been around a bit longer the wrong way.
I would imagine that the party's recently adopted constitution will be tested here during these upcoming DC processes that we're told about. What are we likely to see during those disciplinary processes, given that, you know, just some of the accusations against the party members and that these latest dismissals were a directive from Zuma himself, we told, and the High Command? I mean, in one of their letters, they state that this is all under Section 6 of their constitution.
Onati, I'm not a lawyer, but I think the first thing that comes to my mind is that if there are charges that have been instituted against you, you know, Odi Adaram Patam rule has to be applied, meaning that you'll be given a platform to present the side of your story. You will have to argue your case. I think the burden of proof rests with the party that has, you know, pressed the charges. But I think it's a wonderful thing, you know, and should be supported and embraced by the rank and file of the party, that someone who's related to the president of the party, they call him Sholoze, the president of the party, can be disciplined. I think it's a good thing, but I'm not sure if you know it's the end of the road. You know, for other people who have issues, you know, who maybe feel like they have been suppressed, they cannot speak their minds because of this and that.
Do you think it will be a smooth sailing, as you know, you are saying right now that, you know, it is a good thing possibly for the party to show this kind of transparency, but do you think we're likely to see more internal turmoil as a result of this? I would imagine that, you know, possibly more dismissals may be on the cards here.
Like I said, Unati, I get the sense that, you know, by reading between the lines, there are deeper issues that are at play that have not been unraveled, that have not been addressed. So I don't think that by disciplining these members, this behavior is going to grow legs and walk away. I think this problem it does exist in the party and needs to be addressed. But I think in the bigger scheme of things, the best way, in my view, to address this is also to hold an elective conference where people will be elected. Yes, the party does have a framework to guide itself in terms of how to do things. There are certain constitutional clauses about this and that. But I think if the party can hold an elective conference, elect its leaders who are accepted by the rank and file, I think that would assist in terms of who is who in the party. Because even though the people who make these decisions are making them legally because they've been appointed, but they have not been elected. So we have to distinguish between the two, between a person who has been appointed, a person who has been elected by the majority. So my view is that if the party can just put in place certain measures whereby they hold this conference, elect its leaders, I think that will go a long way in terms of helping them to bring about stability. Because I don't think if they are holding the idea of having a conference, if they're putting that on hold, I don't think that the issue of ill discipline will go away.
And I want to just pose this next question as our final, question to this conversation. When we consider that the local government elections are next year, and the understanding here is that parties are going to be campaigning possibly more aggressively than we saw ahead of the 2024 May elections last year. KwaZulu-Natal, as you know, was a battleground then, and I would imagine, given the outcome of last year's elections, things are likely to heat up again, not only for the MK party, but also for other parties. I mean, the MK party has established its provincial working team in KZN now, led by uMkhonto. What are we then likely, to see within the party internally as it gears up for the next elections? We also know that they've got Floyd Shivambu now steering the ship as the Secretary General.
The party stands a good chance of doing well in the upcoming local government elections, so long as it addresses some internal threats and also external threats. With regard to Floyd, obviously, I mean, if you've just joined the party of late and you have ascended to a strategic position and you have become a center of attraction, that might make some people to be jealous, because there are people who think that because of the family tree, they have the right to hold strategic positions in the party. That line of thinking, it does pose a threat to the party. So besides other threats which are coming from outside, I think the party needs to address its internal threats if it wants to do well and build upon what it has done in the recent general elections.
Prof, let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for your time, Professor Ntsikelelo. Breakfast there for us. Of course, just reacting to the news that uMkhonto weSizwe party has suspended 3 members from the KwaZulu-Natal Legislature.